What's going on? You already know this. Unfortunately, we are at the benediction today. So get your holy water, your communion, your manna, your prayer oil, get everything out because we definitely get ready to chop this thing up. But there might be a glimmer of hope. But before we give you a chance to step in here and talk and jump on this live, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button for us so we can go ahead and get this, baby. This is the benediction with your boy, the historian. Prayers up today. Let's go.
Okay, y'all, this is it.
BirdCage. It'd be a disappointing Sunday for all of us this here. Welcome to the benediction, man. My name is Ryan Walker, better known as the historian. Getting ready to go ahead and bring this crew in. But before I bring the magnificent Birdcage crew in here, we got to talk about it. Hey, the only glimmer of hope there is, we actually saw that Taylor Heineke was came back in and brought us back. We're one possession away. But we didn't get the job done. Defense gave up a garbage touchdown and literally they kept us in that ball game, even though they gave up some touchdowns. Levis looked like a seasoned vet and made him look great today with 4 touchdown passes. Unacceptable. Offense didn't generate a damn thing in the first half. So we're gonna go ahead and bring in the guest today. I got K Dub coming through the building today, real quick. My guy, K Dub. What's up, man?
How you doing? How you doing, BirdCage listeners, subscribers? We wanted the party line today, but that didn't come true in our fruition. We're back to a 500 ball club. We basically have to look at ourselves in the mirror and fix a lot of our discrepancy. This is the worst I think our defenses look this season because we just kept getting burnt on the back end. Even Bankhead Bates wasn't even on Bankhead this year. I think he was starting to see spaceships or something. I don't know what was going on, but I do like the sign of Heineke being brought in. I'm not sure if we're going to continue to ride that ride or what's going on with Ritter. We'll know more in the press conference in the week to come. But I'm not sure what all the other teams did in our division. I'm not sure what it sets us right now at being at 4-4. But there's other games to go and get. I did say 10-11 wins, so we have to lose some games to get to that moniker. So we have to maybe go win some games. I think that I thought that we may lose, and then turn that back around in our favor. It's a lot of more footballs to go be played, but it seems like the offense did respond to Heineke when he was brought in, and we were able to matriculate and go get some points. And it seemed like they had a little bit more giddy up in their step. And Heineke seems like he has a better chance of getting the ball a little bit quicker because he's processes it a little bit faster because he's a veteran in this league. Um, that's just what I see. I mean, the offensive line is going to be the offensive line. They'll maybe have better games here and there because they're so sporadic. But you have to have a quarterback that understands get the ball out your hand quickly, and you got to have a quarterback to be able to get on the move and move out of the pocket when you see it collapsing, and not sit back there and think all day to make a decision. And I seen that as soon as Heineke came in, we took I think one sack, but other opportunities he kept throwing the ball out of bounds, and he lived to play another play. Now that play to Jefferson, that wasn't on him. I felt like he put it right there in his hands. It was just a drop by Jefferson. We could have kept that drive going, but there's still a whole lot left to do. Also, if he did make that catch to win that game, so us shooting ourselves in the foot in the first half really hurt us, and it was too much of a mountain to come back. And after we start giving up all those touchdowns on the back end, good to
Well,
see
not to cut you off,
right here.
well, not to cut you off, bro. I got to bring him in or whatever. I'm gonna let you finish, but I got to bring in got Gray Beard, and then we got Coach Cam in the building or whatnot. We see you behind backstage, Q. You got to get on camera or whatnot for us to bring you on, bro. So go ahead and there we go. We got Q. So go ahead and finish him.
Now I'm just saying that's what I seen from our team. I think that the change to go to Heineke was a good change. I just hope that we stay with it and see what we can go try to go get this playoff run. I mean, as I was stating in our backstage, is that we're trying to go on a playoff run. So we're trying to develop a quarterback and go on a playoff run is not conducive to what we're trying to do. I mean, Ritter just may have to be a backup in this league. I mean, it's nothing wrong with being a backup in this league. Backups make money and they have a steady career. I just feel even though it's an early in the season to say, I just feel like we'll go quarterback in this draft. If not in the first round, we'll still take a quarterback and see if we can improve that situation. But if Heineke the guy, I mean, let's see what we go with that. That's all I had. I mean, I let everybody else get their spill in, and we'll keep going with the show today.
Okay. I was gonna say we want a hell of a lot more from you today because you cooking right now. But
Oh
we
yeah.
definitely gonna let everybody jump on. Look, we gonna let everybody jump on that hay wagon. But see, you cooking today, dog, and you hitting points that a lot of people was saying in the chat today, myself included. But I'm like, hey, you know what? Let me sit back and I'm gonna let Killian just roast for a minute, man. That was beautifully laid up. So what we gonna go ahead and start this thing off with? We gonna let Graybeard jump on it, Coach Cam, and then we gonna slide with Q because I know Q got the announcement because he over there getting ready to cook as well.
Oh man. First of all, BirdCage family, how everybody doing?
How we
Tough.
doing?
Hey man, tough loss today. Tough loss today. From the get go, man, I thought the first drive looked pretty promising, man. We moved the ball effectively. The play calling was pretty solid, but I just think for me, Ritter confidence was just shot today. I think he had no confidence. He was holding on to the football, too long. I mean, times that he could have ran, he didn't run. He was just taking unnecessary sacks, man, just putting us behind the eight ball, putting us like second and long, third and long, man. The whole offense to me was just out of sync today. We didn't get no type of rhythm. We couldn't run the ball effectively until like the second half when we inserted Heineke and we started moving the football more effectively or whatnot. But I just think, man, Arthur Smith just made a change. Like, look, my job is on the line now.
Hmm.
So I think I don't felt the fire coming from the brimstone. So let me go ahead and change it up real quick. So he made the change, man. Heineke, you can tell the difference from a rookie from a veteran. He was prospecting the field. He he took one unnecessary catch where I just think he should have threw it away, but he was getting the ball out. I mean, even though I don't know nobody was paying attention or whatnot, even though we had a veteran quarterback, the center was still snapping the ball too low, and he had to catch it to gather himself to get the ball out. So we got to address the Kenneth situation. I don't know if we're going to address it in free agency. I don't know if we're going to address it in the draft, but we got to get that shirt up. Defensively, man, they just played all they could, man. We just got to stop playing from behind. We always play from behind pretty much the entire season. We got to get more fast starts, man. The play calling, Dave Ragone, we already know what we got from him. Offensive line just got their ass whooped today. Yeah, that's just what it is. They just got their ass completely handed to them. They
That's
were
an
just,
understatement.
they were just getting out physical. Lindstrom got pretty much scooped and body slammed in one of the freaking plays. I'm like, God dang. So to
That was
me,
your wait a minute. That was your center that got slammed by doggone Simmons today.
I
Literally, got
mean,
literally got body slammed today.
I mean,
But
I'm just like, oh, it was
but
just an overall bad performance, man. We didn't really play good football in all three phases, man. I mean, like you said in the halftime analysis, man. I mean, special teams, man. We're playing behind the eight ball in that. I mean, Richie Grant, good lord, man. You get this man praised for one game, and he regressed it three different times, man. I mean, it's just good. I mean, God, man, you try to give this man so many opportunities, man, but he getting burnt like toast. I mean, yes, the freaking officiating was trash. I mean, everybody knows that, but that's what you get when you leave the football game in officials' hands, man.
and
You gotta take control of that. So overall, man, tough loss. Keep your head up though. There's a little glimmer of hope. Still too much football to be played, man. We just gotta lick our wound, like Killian said. Look in the mirror, man. But man up, and go out there and get ready for next week.
all right, Coach Cam, what you got, man? Because we already see we already see the deacons of the church. We already see the deacons of the church already leading the sermon right now. We see that. So you might as well go ahead and chime in and pass the collection plate.
Hey, man, more like a
Hey, we in the
communion.
black church. Hold on. I know we got the Roman Catholic looking church today and the Catholic church, but look, we got the deacons leading the prayer, the song, and another deacon about to pass the church collection plate, grabbing extra money today. Come on with it. Let's go.
Oh man.
So the one thing me and Ryan talked about before the game even played today was protecting the right side of the football.
Right.
The right side of our offensive line is absolutely horrific. It's horrid. Um, Dalman had 13 snaps to the right side or an inch off of the ground, and
Yeah.
I counted each one of
Yeah.
them. So you had 13 terrible snaps. Then McGarry and Darman were turnstiles pretty much the whole game. And the one thing with our zone read, if you've noticed, it's more effective when it's ran to the left side of the football than to the right.
Right.
And if you notice, Tennessee loaded up the right side of the ball. They loaded up on the right side and sent a blitz, which affected the timing of the running. And when they did make the adjustment, it was already a little too late. So that was one, and Arthur Smith should have known that, knowing you're going back home to a team that gave you the playbook, so they would have been expecting you to do the same thing, and you played right into their hand.
Hmm.
With Ritter, as much as I hyped this man up, as much as I was patient with him, as much as I wanted him to be drafted to Atlanta, he's 2 games past when he should have been benched. He should have been benched 2 games ago. There's no reason why our quarterback has 6 interceptions and then he's afraid to throw the ball. If you're going to be a quarterback, you have to have what old school coaches call a lake of forgetfulness or forgetfulness. He holds on to every mistake like he just made it, and he can't do that because what that does is put the team behind the 8 ball. Mike Hughes, I don't know why we have him returning. I don't know why we have him returning kicks. The man is terrible. He can't see a lane if it opened up right in front of him. And then our defense. I mean, when you give up almost 30 minutes worth of time on the field, time of possession, you have to realize that the defense is only going to be able to do so much.
Yeah.
And again, I've said it week in and week out. Richie Grant ass got to go. I'm sorry, and
There he
and I'm
go.
not trying to. I'm not trying to cuss it out like that. I'm not trying to cuss it out like that. Understand me. But Richie Grant is possibly the weakest person on our defense outside of our pass rush. He is a liability week in and week out. Every week he's going to give the offense one score. So we're already 7 points in a hole because we know Richie Grant gonna give him one. And
Yep.
that's a problem. That's seriously a problem because when you have 11 men and 10 men are playing great and you know the one liability, if you notice, every week, Richie Grant has been targeted at bare minimum 6 different times on a medium route, on a post route or corner route. And y'all can go back and watch it. It's the same route being ran every week on his side of on his side of the field, and he gets burnt every week. It's a problem. So, what is Nielsen going to do to make the adjustment to either get him out the lineup or put him in a position where he's not having to be the last line of defense? And what is Arthur Smith going to do to protect our quarterback? Because there's no reason why
Getting
we gave up
slaughtered.
what was it, 8 or 9 sacks today,
8 sacks.
We gave up 8 sacks today. I
and
see you in the
six of
back,
them,
William. I'm gonna bring you in a sec, man, because I got a
and
good
six
cue.
of them, and 6 of them came from the right side of the offensive line.
Teeing off.
They teeing off on the right side because that's the weakest side of the offense. And I feel like everyone on this panel has been saying, why did we pay McGarry? Because he's a no-show. Dalman needs to be replaced immediately.
Yeah.
If I didn't have 2 bad knees, I'd go out and snap myself. I'd do it for free. I snap for free.
Mm.
But we have to fix it, bro. Like, because we have the pieces to be a team that can make a deep run into the playoffs. But every week, games are won and lost in the trenches. And today, both sides of our line got beat up. Literally.
That's an understatement, man. That is an
Grown men,
understatement.
grown men were treated like children today.
Yeah.
Like, at some point, your manhood gonna have to drop, and you gonna have to show some heart out there and win your matchup. Today, I didn't see it at all on either side.
Bring William into this conversation. Q, go ahead.
Oh man, hey y'all.
Going on.
Long time no hear from. So because luckily I got
William,
a
we
trip.
can't see you, bro. You got to mute your mic.
Oh,
Can
yo,
you
what's
hear
All
up,
me?
right,
fellas?
Q,
What's
go
going
ahead.
on? What's going on?
Oh,
My bad. I ain't
no
gonna be here that
man.
long.
Hold up, William.
Uh,
We got Q. We got Q. I brought you in. We rotating right now. Q's up next. You got to
Hey,
wait
you go
wait
ahead,
for us,
go.
bro. Go ahead, Q.
luckily, man, I got a trip to take, so I'm still happy. But all right, so let's start from the beginning, right? So this has been the second week in a row that refs have have basically shattered on AJ Terrell in some type of way. I'm not gonna be that person that says, "All right, AJ gonna give up one, gonna give up two." Well, he does. You know that comes with what that's what came with him when we drafted him. You know he gonna give up some. But I say that touchdown that they gave D Hop in the beginning, set the tone for the game. Number one. Number two, like mostly everybody has said on the panel, when it comes down to the trenches, we got beat on both sides today. We got beat on both sides today. Offensive side, Caleb McGarry got to go. Jake, you might as well go ahead and retire. Them next 2 years of that 1 year that you got, go ahead and let that ride, bro, and let somebody else come in. I'd rather have the dude that we got from the Saints, Storm. I'd rather have him on the right side because he didn't give up nothing when he was sitting up there when he played that one game that he played. So
Agreed.
yeah,
Yeah,
them
what
them
is
them two, they need to go, and Dalman included. I've always said, and here we go, saying it again for the third week in a row. When you have a center that's competent, that's able to pick plays apart, your Jeff Saturdays, your Jason Kelsey's, your whatever you want to say, then your Alex Max. Honestly, as long as you got a center, at least two more pieces on that line out of five people, bro, you straight. And if you running double tight end and you running double tight end plays or something, I ain't gonna say that, not double tight end plays, but if you running plays where you have two or maybe one blocking tight end, you got extra on your line, so you able to mask what's going on that line. We came in the lead today, third, top three offensive line today. We came in the league. I don't know how we did. I don't know how.
How? How?
But the stats say we're third in the league offensive line wise. So when it comes down to
Mm-hmm.
that, he gonna have to do something. Now I seen something that said that we're submitting a third round pick for Montez Sweat. That may be cool. Honestly, I'd rather give up a pick for a pick. I'd rather give up a pick to the Aints for the boy from Northwestern, or give up a pick to somebody for a competent offensive lineman at this point. Don't give nothing up for nothing. You already spent $100 million on the doggone line. Honestly, I know we still suffering when it comes to our defensive line. We actually got more sacks in the first half of the season than we've had last year and the year before, which is cool. So I say this. Go ahead, if you're gonna do something for the trade deadline, get you a competent offensive lineman. I don't care from what side. You can get a left tackle, left guard, or you can get a right tackle. Hell, you can get a center. Get one and do it the right way. When it comes down to Richie Grant, yeah, I say that pick saved him the heartbreak that he was gonna get today last week because he saved the game. And one thing about Richie Grant, who else does he remind me of?
Robert
He
Alford.
reminds me. Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say he reminds me of Rocky. Yeah, because everybody was like, "Oh yeah, no, Rocky Rocky ain't worth a damn." And you see where it got him. So no, when it comes to Richard Grant, I'd rather replace him
Yeah.
because he's the hole in the secondary when it comes down to it. Get you a nice little rookie next year if somebody's coming out of the draft, or get you a competent safety. Get you somebody that's gonna be all right. And I hate it because when it came down to him coming out in that second round of the draft, when we got him a few years ago, it seemed like he was gonna be solid. And that's not happening. So matter of fact, or you go ahead and put Hillams in.
Thank
Let
you.
him eat. Let him eat. Let him eat. What's the worst that's gonna happen? He gonna play worse than Grant? Yeah, his ceiling's already higher than Grant because of what he did coming in this year. So
Most
that's
definitely.
it. So that's it for that. Now, when it comes down to last but not least, I ain't gonna say last but not least. Actually, it's the last but not least. Yeah, it's last but not least. We're gonna talk about Desmond Ritter. This is the one thing as a fan base for some of us that we dreaded because we like a guy. We don't want to see a guy get sat down. He's actually one of those people that probably need to sit down, bro. Yes, we can talk
Said
about
that.
him. We can talk about being a second year rookie and all that because I echoed those same sentiments. I said the same thing. But when it comes
Mm-hmm.
down to it, Buddy need to go ahead and sit down. Let me say something about Heineke. Heineke is all right. He ain't no, you know what I mean. He ain't no Pat. You know, he ain't even Matt. He ain't even number two. But he can get it. And if you can sit and learn behind that man, sit and learn behind that man and see what's going on. I I truthfully believe that after the last showcasings of Desmond Ritter's game, his confidence is shot. He's done. I believe he's done. He's done. Because what I saw today, how he wasn't able to move, how he wasn't able to throw, he was trying to force things. You doing everything that Justin Fields is doing that people don't see because they don't watch football outside of Atlanta,
Ooh.
and you hollering
Good
about
one.
Justin Fields.
Good one.
So cut that short. He doing the same thing. Like I said, the only thing that works from him is the fact that he only played 4 games last year. Then he got tossed in the heat of the moment. The playoffs were still alive. Don't get it confused or messed up. The playoffs
Yeah.
were still alive last year with them last 4 games because our division was trash. But
Yeah.
he did
And
what
the
he had to do.
division is still and the division is still trash right now.
Yeah, we
Yep,
See,
still
look,
lead the
exactly.
division. We still
Exactly.
and here's the thing, bro. And
that's
I'm
right.
laughing because everything you're saying right now, you echoing everything we've been saying for the longest, fam. And we said just like this here. I like Desmond Ritter, but here's my thing. I like the logo a hell of a lot better than I like a player. So at the
Facts.
end of the day, it's like this. He got to sit. And I've been saying this. I've been saying this like pretty much not this week. I've been saying this about 2 weeks ago. He got to sit. And see, this what happened when you got that half, like you said, we got the half save deep sliding up in here now. And he definitely letting you know the real right about now. You know, we at the benediction, so we getting everybody to chime in. But I gotta let
Yeah.
William chop it up, and we definitely gonna bring it back to you because it's some stuff that I want to ask you because it was some stuff we saw today. But I'm gonna let William say this, and I'm gonna ask my question to you, and it's gonna come all the way back around back to Killian because definitely need good words on this one. So William, what's up, man?
Well, you better get that camera together.
It might be alone. I might be alone.
Hey, William on the look. William on the job now. Don't get in trouble because of us now today.
Yeah,
I ain't
for
getting in trouble.
real.
I just came in. But this is what I got to say for the. I said this, man. I feel like Austin Smith is not preparing this team right because I feel like they really took Tennessee lightly, and I said this. We cannot take teams lightly every week. We have to prepare like it's our last. And I'm saying our offense did not get rid of them. Special teams. I feel like all three phases was not ready for this game. I feel like this team wasn't prepared because Tennessee already came with a mindset like, hey, we came up about we had 2 weeks on us. But moving forward, we have to get us a center, man. Drew Dominant is not it. Caleb McGarry, he can't cover his man. He's not quick on his right foot. And Desmond Ritter, I feel like he need to be benched, man, because like I said earlier, when Tyler Haneke came in, he been making plays. It's like everybody's gelled together when Tyler Haneke got in, but it's Drew Dominant. And then when Greg Jarrett got out, our defense kind of like playing like conservative, but we got to start playing with urgency. I said this around mid-season. You have to start winning games before in November. You have to lock your seed up in the division. Now we tied up with the Saints. The Saints probably not took the division now because they won today. 20, I
Nah,
guess
we still on
28.
top.
No, we
Still on
still
top.
on top of the
We
division
still on
because we're
top.
2-0 right now.
Division. All we got to go beat the
Yeah, we
Saints.
got the division. They just got a similar record or whatnot, but we still have the 2-0 lead in the division. We haven't lost in the division, which is huge. Because if you sweep your division, you still gonna go, even if your record is crappy. That's done happened before.
Yeah,
So
just with 9 wins, you'll get
yeah,
in.
But now Minnesota coming off 2 wins. We have to win this game at home. We have to. I want this to take this loss, look in the mirror. That's start with you, Arthur Smith. Stop being cute. Dude, stick with run the down ball. I don't care if you got CP, Talaja, run the down ball, and off the line. Y'all have to block better, man. Y'all have to block better and start spending usual down. I'm tired of
All
these low snaps. Consistent every week. We inconsistent every week. The defense gonna give us the ball back, but they can't do all by themselves. It take all three phases of the game, and special teams. Please do not put Mike Hughes in the back. Put Scotty Miller or
we've been
CP on
saying
kick
that.
return.
Look, who now? I got a question for you. Since you said that, who did I say needs?
Scotty Miller.
CP, Cordell
I
Patterson.
said, little Scotty need to be back there in the back for returning those punts. That's little Scotty right now. He showed up today catching that touchdown in the corner. But let's be real. With the speed that he has, the vision he has, now I would like to see D Alford return punts too if Scotty doesn't hold up to the job. But D Alford needs to be used more in the cornerback and the nickel slot like we've been using. Keep them legs fresh. And my thing is you got to use stuff. So guess what? Put him as a return man. Avery Williams is not here. So you have to have somebody that's going to be able to give you good field position because here's my thing. First off, Mike Hughes shouldn't have got dog on the 21. Let's keep it right.
No.
He should have never got 21. And you
He ain't no
returning
Deion
punts?
Sanders.
Yeah, like I give it this here. D'Angelo Hall actually was better at wearing 21 returning punts than that dude. And I'm just being real, dog. And now you got this dude wearing 21 and you returning punts. Now, look, that right there, that's a sacred number in the Falcons organization, even though it's not retired. But as a kick returner and the punt returner, you got to do what you got to do. But
Hey fellas, I ain't mean to cut y'all. Breaking news: Kirk Cousins torn his ACL. He's done for the season.
Yeah, he tore his Achilles.
Whoa.
Now this I might go y'all fellas, but this is a message for Arthur Smith. You got to start the game with urgency, with points. We cannot keep playing behind, man. Because teams start notice that gonna kill us. We got to start playing with urgency on offense side of the ball. I'm just tired of defense giving it all, but it's time for the offense, special team, to step up. I'm tired of inconsistent. I'm out, fellas. Y'all keep doing y'all thing, man. I'll be at the next broadcast. I guess the Wednesday night, Thursday night. Get to the Minnesota game, but it's a must win at home, man. Must win, and we need fans to be in the stadium in the bands. All right,
got
fellas,
you,
man. I'm out.
Appreciate it.
Y'all hold it down.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Hey man, shout out to William Avery, man. That's a true soldier right there. My man in the kitchen getting that bread right now, putting in that work, and he's still coming in here pretty much at the altar right now, dropping for a lot of the folks in the building. But let's get to it, man. So Artavius, check. I was gonna say the StreamYard link is on YouTube and is actually posted in Dirty Bird's lair on pretty much on the live view right now. It's actually posted in there, and it's also posted in Falcons Nest, bro. But getting back to it though, let's just be real. Now we now have a quarterback controversy, ladies and gentlemen. We have one now.
Not
This is
really.
something that should have been. This is something I'm gonna be honest with you. This is something that should have been hashed out in the offseason. I get that you went with Ritter, but here's my thing. It should have been a more of a quarterback competition. And Q, I'm gonna ask you this one. I think Q went out for a second. Oh, there you go. So I'm gonna ask you this because here's the thing. It's a round robin question right here. Now that we have seen Heineke literally keep us in the game and bring us back or whatnot, and you pretty much we know what he can do because coming off the bench, he's that wild card coming off the bench that'll win a game for you or keep you in the hunt for something. Do you think now we have a quarterback controversy that now it's like, all right, your job is on the line, Arthur Smith. You better figure out what you're gonna do next week against Minnesota.
Okay. Here's what's crazy about that. We got Minnesota next week, and this man tore his ACL 5 minutes ago. So if you take your happy, stupid tail on that podium and say Desmond is going to start next week after what you saw, and you put him in next week and he's trash against a backup quarterback, not just that. Okay, we'll just say quarterback dude. If he's trash next week and you end up losing, knowing the pattern that your defense has, your defense is immaculate right now. Top five. And you end up losing. Oh, it's hot seat time. The week after next, he better be out of here. But knowing Uncle Hawk, he probably ain't gonna be out of here. But then again, knowing that we got another GM that really don't play no games, and they've already been back and forth with each other when it came to picks. People don't acknowledge that a lot. People don't say a lot. But when it came to Trey Lance and Kyle Pitts, they were on the outs with each other in the first year. So when it comes down to it, when it comes down to having a quarterback controversy, do us as a fan base have it? No. But does Arthur Smith have it? Yes, he does. Because he is he's one of the most inadequate coaches that I've ever seen. And you went into a place, and let me say this, he's one of the most inadequate coaches that I've ever seen. And not just that. But I hope that everybody was watching the Titans today. And I hope that over the last 1.5, 2 years that all of us have been speaking to these people, that you see that our team mirrors the Tennessee Titans.
Oh, absolutely.
Derrick Henry,
Arthur Smith never changed the playbook.
he never changed it. Outside of Derrick Henry and outside of D Hop, who was just added a couple of weeks ago.
So here's the quarterback I got for you, and I'm gonna let you keep cooking because we had a question. So you have Jaron Hall, who is the backup quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. That is who we will see next week. What's up, Artavius? I'm gonna let you cook on this one, and then I'm gonna kick it up to Glenn, and then back to my guy K Dub. So Q. So now that we know that we don't have Kirk Cousins, we got a guy that we don't know much about that's gonna be coming in. The question is, you've already hit the quarterback side of things, pretty much where we got we say it's a controversy or whatnot. I'll say this. Next week, you have no choice but to go after that quarterback, and you got to start fast because Minnesota now is a problem.
Okay.
Smith stated in the press conference,
Oh my God.
and here's the thing. I know that's somebody just quoting. I know somebody just quoting Arthur Smith, but we gonna call a spade, and I'm gonna let Artavius cook on this one. We gonna call a spade. Ritter was playing bad. He was as stank as two fat cheeks in a fat man's drawers in the summer day down in Dade County in a damn 1973.
All right.
I'm keeping it a buck. Ain't no all right. This is Benediction. I'm keeping this a buck today because I'm hot. Because here's the thing, he been stinking that bad. So now you want to make up an excuse just like you did for Bijan Robinson, which a lot of us know it was a discipline problem behind closed doors. We ain't gonna put that out there, but go ahead, Artavius.
Man, how y'all fellas doing today, man?
What's going on, big guy?
Brother.
All right. Man, today's game was terrible, brother. Like, super terrible, man. Like, the first half, offensive line was straight garbage. Jeffrey Simmons beat Dawman like a stepchild. Ritter just wasn't there today, man. His confidence wasn't there, man. He just looked like a deer in headlights today, man. Only thing I can say, man, only thing I can say good about Arthur Smith is the coaching, not the coaching change, but the quarterback change. Heineke came in and gave us a different feel with the offense, but defensive line, they got manhandled today. But some things has got to change, man. This is getting terrible, man. Like every week, inconsistent play calling, too much trying to show Bijan Robinson off. That's what we got Tyler Algier and CP84. That's what we got them for. Put them in the backfield, bro. Let them carry the rock. Get the tough yardage that we need.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's all I got to say, man.
Well, I'm gonna chime in on that, and I'm gonna pass that Graybeard, K-Dub, and then we got the Black Wall Street. My other cat that keep the word on the street. Scoop is in the building. But I say this too. When see this how you know I'm pissed when I'm getting tongue twisted like this and the accent started. Like y'all gotta forgive me for that. But I'm just gonna call it like we see it. When you have Tyler Algier, who is hard to bring down, I get that Bijan Robinson is the new toy. I get it. But in this game, football game, you had to win in the trenches. Point blank, period. You had to win in the trenches. And a guy like an Algier is more built for a slugfest type game than Bijan. Bijan can run between the tackles, but here's the difference, though. Bijan is more of a cutback runner. He is not a north-south guy like that. He can do it if you put him in that spot, but Algier is your hammer. That is your William Andrews. He doesn't have as much speed as Andrews, but darn it, when he gets his shoulder square and he's leaning forward, he falls forward. He doesn't go backwards. So I agree with you on that. And CP, get him in a rhythm. You had the old man sitting for how long? Start feeding him. Now, go ahead, Glenn. We getting back to this quarterback thing like we were saying. Now that Arthur Smith has said what he said, I want to hear your comments and concerns about how he's not taking ownership, even in the press conference of his bungles.
Man, Arthur Smith full of shit. Excuse my French. Excuse my French.
Whoa.
Excuse my hey, my bad. My bad. But I don't
mind you dropping certain words, but man,
I gotta be real. You looked at his play from the first quarter all the way to pretty much the first half. He was a deer in headlights, like Octavia said. He was a shell of himself. He didn't look confident. The offensive line was getting him killed, and he was still making the same mistake he made when we put him in the first time against the Saints. We starting to see a little bit of regression instead of progression. He just didn't want to lose his job, but ended up losing the job anyway when he fumbled. That's just what it is. So with Arthur Smith coming with this BS talking about it wasn't for performance, everybody in that conference room already know Arthur Smith, you full of it, bro. But we just gonna let you keep rambling like you always do. So it's no surprise. We already know what it is. We just know that temperature on that freaking hot heat done went up just about 30 to 40 degrees. That's all what it is. So keep with this bull crap. Keep talking about one performance and just be honest. He has to start telling the truth. Look, we needed a spark on offense under center. Ritter looked it like he was not himself because we yanked him out of the game. Point blank, period. Stop with all the other junk talking about one for performance. Man, bump Arthur Smith, man. You got to do.
No, wait a minute. K-Dub, it's K-Dub on this one. Scoop, you got that next one, bro.
Yeah, but
I want to hear what K-Dub got to say about this debacle at the press. Again, not taking accountability and ownership of what's been happening with this team. Do we have a spoiled rich kids mentality coming up?
I mean, you've been stating that all season, but the case may be is, he's still trying to coddle and hold Ritter's hand and not want to break his confidence and all that. But I think his confidence have already been broken. What Q had emphasized earlier on the show. I mean, the guy just didn't look. He didn't even look like he looked like he was trying to cheer him on. But then Heineke kept having success, and he kind of looked like, dang man, I think my job may be gone. I'm gonna keep saying that there's no shame in being a backup quarterback in this league, man. Just to be able to hang around in this league is a feat in itself. You have a lot to work on. Like I said in our chats, you like to just stroll into a sack, like just walk into a sack. I mean, what is your problem? Why do you continue to keep throwing and turning the ball over? There is a problem. You got guys coming right off the bench. Levis throws 4 touchdowns. Not saying you didn't have games where you had success, but you have to be more consistent in this league. You are not at Cincinnati anymore. This is not Kansas. You're not at Cincinnati anymore. Okay, the dust, the pixie dust is flown over. Arthur Smith.
I'm sorry, bro. That was just too funny. You said the picture dust. Hold up, man.
Yeah.
Dang, bro. Wait a minute. So the picture dust that faded. Hold up.
Don't get me wrong. I want to put it on camera that I was all ready. But
I was too.
May need to go take us another quarterback in this draft. And Heineke just gets us through this season to get us to the playoffs. I mean, because the playoffs is there for the taking. This division is so weak, it's weaker than water. So what we need to do is take it by a stronghold. Hopefully he gets his head out his butt and makes the decision to say, look, we're going forward with Heineke. If Heineke starts to play bad or worse in the season, you can still go back to the guy. I mean, if you really feel like that. But I think Heineke came in and was and the way he was pumped up when he threw that touchdown, like, man, they should have been putting me in. That's the aggression that they showed. And he could have led that last drive, but it was a drop by Mr. Jefferson that killed our drive. I'm not saying he killed the game, but he killed that drive. So
Gator Nation.
Well, you can't trust. Listen, you can't trust a Gator to come through for anything anyway. You see how they was dropping balls yesterday. That right there should tell you, stop taking them boys out of Gainesville. If you're gonna get a pass catcher, at least get somebody out of LSU, or you know what I'm saying. Even if you don't take Georgia boys, go to Ole Miss. You see AJ Brown showing out up in Philly right now. I'm just saying, if you ain't gonna go in your backyard, stop taking them slime eaters out of Gainesville, please, because they damn sure don't come through. Scoop, let's go. You at the altar, Deacon.
36 of them.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, Scoop. I step off. I let you get yours.
Yeah, because Kato, we finna differ about this Ritter tape. Now I will say this. I got three points. That's the story of this game, in my opinion, from my point of view. Number one, Dahlman and McGarry, but really, you know what? The entire offensive line, because I made a comment in the chat. Justin Simmons, it seems like every time we go against a physical interior defensive lineman, Chris Lindstrom gets baptized. So that's going to be an issue going forward, because you know that the trenches really mean something when it get colder. The second thing is, can we get the same play calling in the second half as we do in the first half? Like, can we improve the first half? Because see, it's starting to look real familiar during them number 2 days, that era of number 2, where the offense just looks stagnant outside of Kyle Shanahan's 2016 season, where the offense just looks stagnant for the first half, and then the second half, all of a sudden, they put some Madden codes in, and we running real nice plays. All of a sudden, we got wide receivers spacing, people just wide open. I don't know where that came from. And then my third one is, if I'm not mistaken, Washington did lose today, right?
Yep.
They lost to Philly and 31. So you know what that means.
So I didn't coach against them, but I'm very familiar with Stevenson High School players. Montez Sweat. Come on, man.
Look,
You don't even have to approve the trade. We know you want to come back home.
no,
Come
I ain't
on.
saying that. Of course, you finna throw that out there. I figured you was finna throw that Decatur
East
rhetoric
side.
in there. I hear you.
East side. I mean, just come on. Because clearly y'all see today, like, we lose Grady Jarrett. David Onyemata was getting triple team.
Yeah, he was.
Still getting back there in the backfield, but he's just not as quick as Grady to get back there and sack a quarterback.
Strong as an ox, though.
Yeah.
Our safeties, like I know that y'all are trashing my boy Richie and giving the props to JB.
Can't
Slash.
trash
Look,
garbage.
hey,
You
Slash.
can't trash garbage.
but I'm here to tell you
Bro.
today they equally look bad
No lie.
against a
I'm
rookie
a big fan,
quarterback.
but you right. No lie.
I give you that. I give you that.
So I mean, it got to be fixed, man. We spotted them 2 touchdowns today.
14-3.
Can't happen. That's it, man. That's all I got. I'm mellow today.
You absolutely right. See, Arthur Smith apparently watched that Georgia Florida game and he thought he was gonna be able to spot somebody some damn points, and you apparently see that backfire. Defenses on the field way too long. Way too long. And Q, I'm gonna bring you back into this one because I know you rolling right now. Because I see Q done had a whole fashion show in the cut that we ain't know about. Man, that put on the red shirt. You know what I'm
Damn,
saying?
sure did.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hey,
I look back.
know,
I'm like, wait a minute, didn't he just
y'all
have on a
know.
red shirt?
I told y'all moving to. I told y'all I'm moving to the new crib, man. I'm still moving out the old house, so I
Okay.
gotta
Hey
put on
man,
the drop fit.
congrats on the new crib, man. But I
Congratulations,
want to
Yeah,
hear
homie.
congratulations, bro.
what's your opinion about the defense, bro? When you talk about they kept us in it, but they still were on the field for way too long today.
I was just thinking, TOP time of possession is a big thing when you dealing with all this, and either you're going to spend, I want to say, 4 to 7 minutes on the field to get that field goal or that touchdown, or you gonna snipe, you know what I'm saying, to get down there in about 2.45 or something like that, and then your defense gonna be able to hold. It's all about balance when it comes to the game, man. And today they really were on the field for too long in the beginning. And then Scoop did, Scoop definitely made a point when it came down to Bates. I'm still sticking with the Richard Grant slander, but no, but really when it Bates was kind of off his game today. Um, yeah, man, I would love to have Montez to come to Atlanta. Don't get me wrong, because I just told y'all earlier, take that pick and get a lineman. Take it and get a lineman because now it's been proven, but it's really gonna be tough, man. But TOP is a big thing. Let me not stray away from that point. TOP, time of possession is a big thing, and them guys get windy. You talking about big 300-pound guys that push people around all the time. And then let's not take and let's do this because we've been sitting up here kicking our team's butt today. Let's not take away, even though they're 2-5 or they're 3-5 now. Let's not take away from the Titans. They have always been built. That line has always been built just for that man that sits in the backfield. That line has been built for King Henry for years now. May have had a couple of tweaks, but that line has been built for that man for years now. So we're not going to take away what they do then or what they've done. We're not going to take away from Vrabel, who is a 3 to 4 time Super Bowl champion. And he's an anomaly when it comes to a coach going from a player to a coach, and he's done what he's done. He may not be looking good now, but I'm not taking away from them either. But that also speaks to the type of coaching staff that we have offensively. And not
Mm-hmm.
even just that, but the head coach himself. It speaks to that. And I need for Doug Ragone to go because for the first time in a long time, I heard Charles London's name in the last week.
Mm-hmm.
And Charles London was a quarterback coach, right? And he went to be an offensive coordinator to Tennessee. And that's the
Mm-hmm.
first time I heard his name since he's left. So that speaks to Arthur Smith and what he does offensively. This is not just a game when it comes to people full of talent. It ain't just that. Trust me, if it was, then Kyle Shanahan would not be what he is now. Regardless of what he did to us in 2016, regardless of how you feel about the dude, that man is a genius. When he does what he does offensively, he can take anybody and anything and make them look good.
Mm.
So when it comes down to Arthur Smith and what he's doing, I'm gonna be straight up honest with you, dog. I was just like y'all were when it came to Red and everything. Even giving Matt Ryan another couple of chances, all of that. Because truthfully, you have to give these people chances. You got to. You
Mm-hmm.
got to. They got to prove themselves. That's with anything.
Agree with
That
that.
man need if it's anything under 9-8, that man need to be gone this season. Because we have the easiest schedule in the NFL. Nobody is over 500. There's no reason that we should have lost this game. There's no reason that we should have been missing 21 points off of last week. We left sound like John Harris, don't it? We left 21 points on the table last week. And then the week before that, we had all that going on. There's no reason. There's no reason at all. So my take is
27
this.
points to be exactly.
There
27.
you go. There you go. So my thing is this. Home need to go ahead and pack his bags, be on the way. Because the worst thing, I'm going to tell you, he already stubborn now. The worst thing is going to kick him, excuse my French, the worst thing is going to kick him in the ass after he get fired is another coach inheriting his team that he put together and he do
Take
it better than him.
Super Bowl.
Facts.
That's going
Big
I've
that's
been
fact.
going to
saying,
hurt.
hey,
Big
hey
fact.
Q,
That's
and
going to hurt.
Q, this is what we've been preaching, dog. Because me and Cam talked about this off camera. I've said it. If
Man,
Arthur
I'm
Smith
in here
gets
sweating.
fired, hey, we said it like this. We said if Arthur Smith gets fired, you go after Eric Bieniemy. Give him a head coaching job because this
Yes,
man has
please.
already interviewed for Atlanta. This man has credentials. Let's keep it a buck. If you look at it, Philly's got one of the best teams in the league this year. I hate to say it, but they do.
They
Now,
do. They do.
that's the only guy that has dissected that defense and made them look pedestrian. And this is
Bro,
with a first-year team, a first-year starting quarterback, and Sam Howell, who was on the bench last year. And then you got Cam Robinson, who was a man amongst boys at Alabama. He wasn't a college running back. We said he was going to be a professional running back, which was definitely a good steal for them. And then you have three good solid wide receivers. Lawrence, Scary Terry is the best wide receiver on that team. And literally, those boys are eating and they're still in the hunt for their conference championship. Even though they've lost to Philly twice, it's still a chance that they go to the playoffs and do something with a first-year coordinator and a defense that's pretty much plug and play right now. So right now, if Arthur Smith don't get it done, hey, go ahead and put him to the side, Terry. Go ahead and pick up that phone. Hey, EB, what's going on, bro? Listen, we had to go ahead and get this riffraff about this building right now. Hey, we got a chance for you to come up in here. We got a chance for you to call the offense the way you want. We got weapons for you. Or you want a better offensive line, you take that. Come on over here. I don't give a damn about your interview skills. I need you to win ball games because guess what? My job is on the line, and I'm not trying to go back to New Orleans with food stamps and government cheese. So let's go ahead and get this thing right.
hey,
That's just me.
that's real, but he ain't going nowhere. Terry ain't going nowhere. Terry gonna be here for the next 10 years. Let me tell it. I promise
I
you he
hope.
will.
Look, I hope because we see that nothing is safe in Atlanta right now. We see that.
No, not at
But
all.
we have
Nothing
to
is
Bro,
safe in
also
Atlanta right now.
we also
can I
have to
say this?
look.
Can I say this?
I
And
know
I'm gonna let somebody else go. Can I say this? I'm gonna let somebody else go. I'm gonna tell you what was the biggest red flag for me out of 3 years. Outside of the game, outside of him coaching, the biggest red flag for me was when you took the top 3 offensive linemen had an interview with him and told him he was boring.
Hmm.
And that man could have matched up at least 20% or 40% of our offensive line. And you told him he was boring because he didn't have the personality.
Peter
Like, nah,
Skoronski was the one who was verbal about it. That's who said it.
We ain't gonna take you. So it's stuff like this is just like, all right, bro. I'm like, whatever. I wasn't even mad about losing today, bro. Because it's like he's still on track. The best thing that can happen is this man figures it out. He gets a hot streak, and we get bounced out second round of the playoffs. It'll look good, but it'll also be a bad thing because he's back for another year. You know who he gonna have, and then let's not talk about the draft picks, bro. The draft picks hardly been panning out, bro. Let's be honest. Let's be straight up. Let's be real.
We've been saying that too, Q. Been saying that for the longest.
But y'all know I've been gone for a minute, so but I mean, it's just real. So it's like, when it comes down to it, man, all of us want it to work, but this guy is he need to run the FedEx distribution center somewhere. just I'd rather you do that. He has the attitude for that. Football ain't it, bro. And just because at this point, so I'm all in on him being removed at mid to end of the season, and we make a run for Bieniemy, and I'm glad because now Bieniemy has proved itself. So I'm happy. Whatever happens, however the chips fall, I'm with it, bro. I'm just with it. But he gonna have to go, man. He ain't it.
I'll take Byron Leftwich.
No. Here's it. Hold on, real quick, Ryan. Real quick.
Go ahead.
So they said this was the culmination of a 3-year plan, right?
Yeah.
At the end of this 3-year plan, right? They went into this as a collective unit, correct?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
So with Terry signing off on the hirings, bringing in the offensive line and all these other individuals, as well as drafting these offensive-minded players instead of getting the pieces we needed for the defense or the offensive line. Let's say we miss the playoffs or we don't finish above 500. Does Terry also get looked at as being replaceable?
No, Cam. You know the reason why? Because Arthur Smith was hired before Terry.
Exactly. That wasn't Terry's decision. The person that started that mission is Rich McKay.
I'm not saying that Terry should be fired in no way at all. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying, does he also get held to the same level because of the whole we work together, conversation that there was having over these last 3 years? We drive together, we talk together, we bring in players together. So does he also get blamed for that?
The reason why I'm saying no is because of people like Jesse Bates, Caden Ellis, David Onyemata. They're saving his job. They're saving Terry's job.
Okay.
Bled Dupree as well.
And Ryan Nielsen. The additional Ryan Nielsen is saving his job. Arthur Smith on the other hand, it's gonna be a problem.
And I clean these books up.
Don't forget Jerry Gray. Hey man, just tell it like it is, Scoop, because Terrence Mathis said this on the interview that he did on the BirdCage with us. Terrence Mathis said hands down that front office is a mess right now because Terry wanted to go defense when he first got here. That was what Terrence Mathis said. You can go back and check the interview if you didn't see it. We interviewed Terrence Mathis and he talked about it. And the problem is you had a spoiled child in the front office that was able to go to his daddy's friend, his new business partner. Well, I don't want a defensive player. I want a tight end. I want a wide receiver. I want a running back. You got the spoiled child mentality. And it's the honest to God truth. When you got killers that you can draft in the offensive line and the defensive line in the first round, because guess what? You build your franchise with an offensive lineman in the first and second round, and you decided to go in a whole nother direction, and it just threw everything off. You can get a receiver dime a dozen. No disrespect, because I like Drake, but when you got a chance to get a guy like a Peter Skoronski that could actually step in and be effective on this offensive line, and you can have him on a rookie deal, because Skoronski's killing it right now. If you look at it, he's killing it. And you pass on that, I get why they passed on Jalen Carter. We already know the media would have hounded him, but you pass on the generational player regardless of what we say. So it's starting to look like you want Bijan to do well so bad because you don't want to look wrong, because you have not addressed the needs and you're butting heads with your general manager. And your general manager has won a Super Bowl and built a team.
So
And built
Ryan,
a team to win.
Ryan, I'm gonna tell you this: those 3 picks don't look like a bad idea with a struggling offense. The only thing that I would agree with you about is actually selecting a lineman outside of either Pitts, Bijan, or Drake. But right now, with a struggling offense, those were the right selections, especially how our defense has been playing all season long this year. That's the only thing that I'm seeing that can only rectify the team. But I think now the next season, it's up to Terry to figure out whether or not he want to keep this coaching staff, because if he gets more money next year, you're gonna have to spend it on the offensive line. You got to. You ain't got no choice now.
We're gone. Got to be the first person gone. I'm sorry.
Hey, man.
I don't even think he got to be the first person gone. Arthur got to be the first person gone.
Okay,
and everyone else behind him. Everyone else can go with him.
Yep, with care
because
package.
why do we have a quarterback, a wide receiver coach who played quarterback in our league? You never played receiver at any point in your football playing career. You played quarterback since Pee Wee all the way through college into the NFL, and now you're the wide receivers coach. How many routes have you actually ran? How are you teaching receivers how to get separation at the top of their routes? We can't teach them that.
Yeah. You can't.
So there's pieces to our offensive, our coaching staff offensively that don't fit. We've never had a legitimate quarterback coach. We had a receiver playing as a quarterback coach at one point.
Yeah.
So why are we putting pieces where they don't fit? Arthur, he's never fit, ever. He didn't even fit in Tennessee.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. And think about it. How many playoff games did they win under Arthur Smith?
None.
Yeah. So I don't even. This good old.
Hold on. What you mean? As an offensive coordinator?
No, that's what I'm asking. How many playoff games did he win as an OC? And that's
that first season that he was an OC and he had ended up mentioning Mariota and put Tannehill in. They beat Kansas City and Baltimore that first year. I think they lost to New England, or they beat Kansas City and New England and lost to Baltimore, something like that. But they won that first year.
Yeah, you're right.
But the offense was boring. The offense was one dimensional.
You're right.
Remember that defense won tons of games because, as Q called out, he talked about Vrabel being, a guy that played under Bill Belichick, Super Bowl winner, great linebacker when he was in the NFL as a player. But the thing is, the difference with Vrabel is this. Vrabel is a hard-nosed dude that came from a Michigan program that was bad when he was there, but he was a tough football player. He goes to New England and gets hardened in that system. And like you say, the team reflects the coach's personality. Arthur Smith, honestly, is a guy that you see sitting at the Waffle House ordering a smothered and covered with 2 extra waffles. Let's just be real. Looking soft at the counter. That's just me. You get Vrabel. Vrabel's a guy that you see working out of a factory. Hey, man, let's go grab a beer. We sitting at the corner at the bar having a beer and pretty much a shot of whiskey. And, hey, we're going to go home, get the lunch pail, and let's go back to work and let's go get it tomorrow. It's a difference when you look at the coaching styles. Even though Smith was there, it doesn't add up. It doesn't add up, period. The reason we got a grit to our defense is because of Ryan Nielsen and Jerry Gray's old school approach. I've been saying it. You can't out hustle old school coaching. I'm sorry. And it shows.
I mean, another thing with Arthur Smith play calling in Tennessee, it was consistent. Whatever he used that last Sunday worked the following Sunday and the Sunday after that. Once he became the head coach of this team, he tried to be something that he's not. He tried to try all these other crappy plays that don't work. He was horrible at freaking making adjustment, in-game adjustment. He'll wait till the late third and fourth quarter to finally make adjustment when the football game pretty much out of reach. So, yeah, man, I'm with Cam, man. He got to go, man.
K Dub, I got a question for you.
Okay, go ahead.
So now you spoke on the quarterback situation or
Yeah.
whatnot. Now there's gonna be a slew of quarterbacks coming out this draft coming up. Now, a kid that I really feel like that would fit this, and I want you to tell me what you think about him, and it's just an opinion. It's two quarterbacks that I said you might want to look at. And they got howitzers for arms and they can run and they pretty much fit into what we do offensively. You got Duke quarterback Riley Leonard. If if his ankle's right, he's one. And the quarterback that I've talked about that you can get for dirt cheap and bring him in and he could be undrafted. That kid Jeremy Musa out of Florida A&M. Now those are two quarterbacks that I'm saying you ain't got to spend a ton of money on, but they definitely aren't game managers. They literally are game breakers. What do you think could be put in here? Because everybody want to talk Caleb Williams and Drake May, but them guys aren't going to be. If you got to go low round, because this is what the Falcons do you think we go for something that sits in that type of playing ability for a low price?
Well, I mean, I feel like this particular draft coming up, if we do touch a quarterback, it's a plethora of quarterbacks. It's kind of like what's your flavor of ice cream with that you want. Somebody going to fall to us in the later rounds, preferably third or fourth, just like Ritter fell to us. We have another great quarterback fall to us. I mean, it's so many quarterbacks out there, but I mean, guys that I've looked at I don't know how far out off the draft boards we have to go get Penix, but he may fall. Sometimes good quarterbacks fall. I like him. I like the quarterback out of LSU, and
Daniel.
I like.
Daniels is killing it. Man, he's killing it, dog.
Falling to us late though. That's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about one of the top tier guys because I want us to go address our offensive line, going to get help on defense and other things that we need. I just feel like in this draft we can go get us a quarterback, but this is the draft to go get a quarterback because it's so deep with quarterbacks that are coming out. I mean, you got guys that you could take and look at and dust off, man. I mean, you got some quarterbacks out here, man. If you really scour the league, not the league, but scour the college game, there's a lot of quarterbacks that are coming out this year. I kind of like Shador, but I don't know if he's going to come out. He holds the ball a little bit too long, but I feel like real offensive line, they can do something.
A buddy from FSU too.
Yeah,
man, he should look. You put pressure on him, he gets shook like a stripper in church. He don't like to get touched. That boy don't like to get touched. Hey, that's like trying to touch a girl that body. Hey, that's like trying to touch a girl that ain't got no money. That joker gonna move away from you and get shook. Come on, dog.
But in fairness, the Hick offensive line was getting him killed yesterday.
But when he had a good game, he's been inconsistent. That's the reason why Florida State wanted to run him up out of there. That kid been inconsistent for a long time. He's finally starting to figure it out. But I'll be real. I'm with Kill. If you gonna go get somebody for the low rounds, I gave you my two. I don't mind Daniels because Daniels is a dude that can go. He just had some injury problems. That was it.
Look what he did at ASU though. He had ASU as a front runner in the Pac-12, even though the Pac-12 isn't the greatest conference.
Yeah,
Jaden Daniels was right there, neck and neck with DTR for 2 years.
Yeah.
So the boy can play, and now that he has better weapons and a better offensive line, you're seeing him be able to sit there, pick apart a defense, and go through his reads smoothly. And if he ain't got it, he take off. He don't wait too long. He gonna give you maybe 2-3 good reads, and he's gone. That's the one thing that we're missing from our quarterback. He runs a 4.4, and he moves like he a 60-year-old man.
So
do I run? Do I throw? What do I do?
So we got Bree asking the question, and I want Scoop to get this one right here. It says, do you think Ritter would be in a better position if number one, he had a better quarterback coach, and number two, he had a better mentor who could have sat behind and truly learned from an entire season. Very good question.
So Bree, I'm gonna answer the question. Number one, yes, because quarterback coach with a young quarterback is essential. Like go hand to hand. You need that. Two, yes, because he sat behind Mariota, so he learned what not to do. Being behind him, but he didn't learn anything to do.
Right.
Yeah,
But when
See
you
what I'm
get
yeah.
saying? So
yeah,
like I'm gonna tell you this, and y'all might be mad about this, but if they could trick number two into leaving the booth and coming to coach, it might help him out.
Oh, I'll take
Because
that.
Cam was saying that he moved like a 60-year-old man. Really, he moved like number two back there in the pocket. I'm just, it's very familiar.
he a little bit.
He a little bit quicker, but so I would say this: the decision to take off and run that Heineke showed today is something that Ritter needs
Agreed.
because he probably would have avoided two of those 5 sacks if he just, hey man, I'm not even finna look downfield. Because number
Yep.
one, the spacing is not always there. And I'm gonna tell you this play call that they run when they run this flood, when they roll the quarterback out, got to be the
The
dumbest play
dumbest.
call.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I'm gonna tell you. You want me
It,
to tell you
it
what
it
that
Ever.
irks me so much because nobody is open.
Scoop?
Ever.
Scoop? You want me to tell you what that play call was? Because I said this the
Yeah.
other week. Remember, I said he needed to call Joe. I said he needed to call Joe Gibbs, and I said he needed to roll with that sprint bomb. That is pretty much the sprint bomb. The difference is you don't have a guy that's going downfield, separating and getting open for that. That's exactly what that is. And I've
Hey,
told.
We need it.
one last thing. We got beat in our secondary. Well, my safeties got beat twice today with double moves. Do we have double moves in our offense?
No.
Nope.
All right, let me go back to radio silence.
Do, do we? Do we?
No,
No.
we
Because I
don't.
ain't
No.
seen one.
I want you to watch the
No.
route. Watch the route combo. And here's the thing. Q said this earlier about the offense that we run and how the receivers are running routes. He mentioned this earlier, and he's also mentioned this in Cooking with Q. We don't have guys now. Scotty Miller is a guy that can run those double moves very well because of how fluent he is. Van Jefferson can do it too because he did it at Florida. The only problem is the hands is a little too inconsistent. That is why the Rams let go of Van Jefferson. No disrespect to him, but Van is a guy that you can't trust in the clutch like that. My question is, where the hell was Kyle Pitts? You're a unicorn. Where the hell was the unicorn not being used in that situation? That's your first round pick. That's your number 4 first round pick. That man should have had the game in his hands today in that situation. That's just my opinion. You're paying him top dollar, use it.
Hey, you know what? What I've noticed with Kyle Pitts, I think that they have ran more play out routes with Kyle Pitts versus actually featuring him in
Yes.
the offense.
There we go. Thank you.
And I agree with you on that wholeheartedly. Just think about this. And me and you talked about this off camera, Scoop. We said hands down, in a situation like that with Pitts and Jonnu Smith, you have two big tight ends. We're a tight end heavy offense. Guess what? And Mac Hollis and these big bodies with route with 4th and 2 on the line, you run those big bodies curl routes or slant routes underneath because guess what? They can shield those little defenders off and actually at least have a chance to make a play on the ball. We did not do that. You threw Van Jefferson a speed turn route. And by the time he got there, ball was already in his hands and he dropped.
Mm-hmm.
It was
But here's
put
my
it was put on him. It was put on him just right. He just dropped it. In that situation, I believe Pitts comes up with that catch or
yep.
Jonnu Smith, hell, even Mac Hollins. I would say in that situation, you use Van Jefferson on the 1st and 10 to use his speed to go downfield and give him one.
And here's the thing: why are we not running more 12-man offense? Why are we constantly using? I hate to say it. Why are we constantly using a fullback? The fullback is almost obsolete in the NFL. We're
Had
one
this
of
last week.
we're one of 3 teams that still use a fullback in the NFL out of 32. One of 3. Why are we not using more 12 man? Because guess what? We can put Cal on the left side of the field where we're strong, and we can put Jonnu on the right side where we're weak. That way, you balance out the line, and you can use them to. You can use those routes. You can have one go for a route and one to sit there and help block, or you can send them both on a route and have Bijan or Tyler Algier sit there and protect the quarterback. So there's ways that we can assist the line, but Arthur Smith ain't smart enough to do it. He's just not that. He's not a coach. He's not intelligent enough to see that.
So before y'all go on with that, Scoop, go ahead and answer this question right here. So it's Bree's question is, okay, so are we truly in position as fans to blame Ritter for what's currently doing then based on your response? That was what she wanted to know.
So Bree, I'm still on the DTD train, like the dual threat days. All I want him to do is just go ahead and pick up his feet and take off and run when it's time to run. So I'm gonna always put it in perspective as far as coaching go, because you got a young quarterback. You cannot assume that a quarterback that done had any type of success in college can come to the NFL and just perfectly catch on. Like if I'm comparing situations, like the Houston situation, what's the head coach name? D'Amico Ryans. He done put Stroud in a good situation. He got some good coaching around him. Great. In Carolina, Young got some good coaching around him. We can't say the same thing in Atlanta. There is nothing that Dave Ragone has done in his resume to say that he done got some quarterbacks up under his belt that have had success, sustainable success in the NFL. That's the issue.
That man don't.
Can we name
that man had destroyed quarterback, not help quarterback.
No, so with that being said,
first rounders.
So right, and so and Ryan, we done had this conversation too. It doesn't take much as a coach to coach somebody that got elite talent.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're really, the talent alone makes you look better as a coach. What shows you being a coach is something that Arthur Smith did with Cordero Patterson and Tyler Algier, where you're running the ball effectively, but you're using people who wouldn't normally be used. You're using a 5th round pick running back and making him 1,000-yard rusher. And Cordero Patterson ended up being a top 100 player, and he done played for 4 or 5 different teams. It's the way they're being used. That's what coaching is about. So when you have elite talent, like that doesn't help you out as a coach. The people who not elite in certain positions, that's what shows you being a coach when they can succeed. Now, go ahead.
Well, my question is, what did we see in Ragone that made him think he was going to be a good quarterback coach or fit to those feet? What
see? I'm gonna tell you this, Glenn. So this is more so. Let me hire my homeboy. So let me get a coaching staff together, and then like I get hired for a team as a head coach. I'm finna call Q up. I'm finna call K-Dub up. I'm finna call Glenn up. I'm finna call Cam up. I'm finna call Ryan up, and we finna get this show started. That's what that was.
So what we gonna do today? We got Mark behind the stage right now, and we gonna bring him up. Hey, so we got to keep it clean today. Just letting you know, we can't get too crazy with the language. We gonna bring you in. It's been a minute. We got Marcus in the crib. What's up?
What's going on, y'all? Can y'all hear me?
Oh, the bald wonder, baby.
Marcus working the machine. What's going on, man?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, listen, man. This is a loss I can take. I just got finished with my live, and there are a lot of people that are going to be on the fence about, should we start Desmond Ridder or not? Here's the thing, fam. We can talk about the offensive line. We can talk about how trash Dahlman is, how Cheeks McGarry is, all this stuff, how bad the play calling is. What I want y'all to realize is this. They played in the second half as well, right?
Yeah.
And the offense put up 20 points and actually had an opportunity to win the game had it not been for Van Jefferson dropping that ball. This is the same offense that they marched out there in the first half that only put up 3 points. They only changed one position. And Drake London went out. They only changed one guy on offense, bro. One.
I got something for you, Marcus, okay, because this is something that I know you were doing your podcast, but I'm gonna go ahead enlighten you on what I was saying earlier. That offensive line quit on Ritter in the first half. A lot of people don't understand this, and a lot of people won't get it. When I say all the rah-rah speeches that he's been doing, that offensive line is tired of those turnovers, getting down to the 1 yard line and turning the ball over in the red zone when we're supposed to execute with one of the best running games in the league. And he's pretty much fumbled the bag, not once, not twice, not 3 times. He's fumbled the bag 7 times in the red zone this year when we've had chances to put teams away. So that offensive line, at some point, those guys get tired of, man, you know what? We gonna let this do, we gonna play, but they gave up on him. You can tell because in the second half, you saw how they started to play for Taylor Heineke and they started fighting for him a little bit more. You saw
Hey man, how can you give up on somebody when you are dumpster juice?
Easy. I can tell you right now, Heineke only got sacked 1 time, right?
But Heineke got sacked 1 time because he was letting the ball go. They made adjustments.
Right? I'm asking. But
so look, let me tell you this. And I'm gonna go back to radio silence. I'm gonna tell you this. I get what Mark's saying, but I'm gonna tell you this. Last week in the second half, what was different?
Play calling.
Outside of the play calling and adjustments, I guarantee you this. You've been a player too back in the day. How many times are you in a situation where you get tired of a guy doing the same thing when you got a chance to put it away?
What was different in the second half last week?
The difference is he started not turning the darn ball over.
What was different?
Outside of the play calling, he didn't turn over the ball. That was
even outside of the play calling, let's just say that they made an adjustment in the play calling in the second half last week. They made an adjustment in the play calling second half this week.
Mm-hmm. And again, how many games has he cost us with turning over the ball in the red zone?
I'm only asking about last week.
In the second half.
I'm only asking about last week.
Yeah.
I think so. Look, I'm telling y'all this. The only reason why I'm saying this, I think it's fool's gold. Mark said that the only position that was changed was Taylor Heineke. But guess what? I think that all 5 offensive linemen should have been replaced. But they played 100% of the snaps.
Agreed.
Yeah, but you don't have a drastic turnaround like that in one game, just solely by luck. Now, the offensive line giving up on Desmond Ritter, I mean, I don't know. To be honest, all I know is this team had 3 points at halftime. Desmond Ritter got sacked 5 times. 2 of those sacks I put on him. The first sack I definitely put on him because he looked at that boy run at him and just backpedaled like he forgot he had legs. Took the sack. It was 10 yards.
Mm-hmm.
In the second half, the same offense scored 20 points, actually put up touchdowns, and had an opportunity to win the game. There's only one position that changed. Mind you, our average is 16 points a game. So my thing is this, for people that want to stick with Desmond Ritter, and it's nothing personal. It's nothing personal. How long do we have to wait on this boy to grow? We're not in a rebuild mode. How long do we have to wait for him to grow? Because if we have to wait on this boy to grow, I'm going to travel out to Flowery Branch with a boatload of Flintstone chewables so we can get this boy grown. Because at this point, fam, listen. Here's the facts, and nobody can deny this. Last 3 games, 7 turnovers. 7. He has more turnovers than he does touchdowns. The last 2 games, he's thrown for 0 touchdowns. 0. Taylor Heineke comes in here, and all of a sudden, Bijan got a touchdown. Scotty Miller got a touchdown. And a half. Here's another thing. In the first half, Desmond Ritter had 71 yards and a fumble. In the third quarter, not Scotty Miller, but Taylor Heineke had 115 yards.
Yep.
At some point, fam, you got to call it for what it is. Desmond Ritter right now is not the guy.
Nope.
And I'm tired of watching somebody grow when it looks like they're shrinking. So if Desmond Ritter was playing awesome, he would have been playing in the second half. Arthur Smith's blaming it on concussion protocol, but they cleared him at the beginning of the third quarter. So he could have went back in there and played. How many players have we seen that have went in there that shouldn't have went in there? If you're that guy, I'm sorry. You're putting on your helmet and you're going the hell back out there.
Yep.
But Art said, nah, we going to sit you for the second half, bro. We're going to see what Heineke can do.
He started feeling that heat, man.
Marcus, I got a question for you. Now, we've been talking about the woes on the offensive line. Now, we said the free agency market, we need to get a veteran center because if you look at that, even on that last drive where we actually had a chance, that pass that went to Van Jefferson, that snap was bad by Dahlman. That snap was bad. Dahlman has been putting more balls close to being on the ground and rolling them opposed to getting up to the quarterback. Surprisingly, Heineke was able to make an athletic play to get that ball out with the pressure on him. Do you think it would have made a difference if he could have got that ball up a set, probably a little bit higher, where Heineke didn't have to adjust, where he could have just got it out of there a little bit quicker, and Van would have had time to adjust to it? And do you think we need to go ahead and address getting a veteran center in this free agency market right now before the season gets even deeper?
Yeah, man, we know this guy cheeks. We know he cheats.
No. I want you to know, but I want you to say it because you just got on here. We've been saying this, and some folks haven't really said too much about it, but that is a guy that needs to be replaced. And McGarry needs Storm. They need to go ahead and plug Storm Norton in because Norton didn't give up any sacks when he was in. He literally was phenomenal since he's been in Atlanta.
Listen, man. It could have made a difference, but the bottom line is Van got to come up with the ball. That ball was placed right there. He should have caught it. That's why when you saw him go to the sideline, he put his head down. He should have caught that ball. If he caught the ball, it's the first down. No matter if it was a low snap or whatever, it actually got to Heineke, and Heineke made the throw. So two things can be true. Dahlman can beat Cheeks.
Yep.
And Van could have still caught that ball. So again, man, this is a loss I can take. I can take this loss. The defense, had a couple of blown coverages, but again, had it not been for that trash ass offensive pass interference that they did not call on DeAndre Hopkins, we win this game.
Yeah.
The tone.
So again, now we have to look towards this week. Who are we starting at quarterback? I honestly hope that it's Taylor Heineke, because I think if they put Desmond Ridder back in there, Desmond hasn't been the guy all year. So if you want to mess with this guy's confidence even more, you're going to plug him in. We're going to average 16 points. We're going to lose. And then you're going to tear that boy's confidence all the way down. The best thing that you can do is say, hey, listen, we're going to bench you. We're going to ride with Heineke. We're still number one in the NFC South. That's why I can take this loss. And we still have an opportunity to sew up this division. But you got to put the guys in that have the best potential to win the game. And right now, what I saw in the half, I want Taylor Heineke to play at least one game. At least. Because if we would have got 10 of those points in the first half, easy peasy, man. This is a dub.
1, 2, 3.
Definitely appreciate that, as we call you, Negro Damas.
These boys been coming for my neck since week 3. I've been called crazy because I've been talking about benching Desmond Ridder for a while. Man, you crazy? You done lost your mind. You only buy hoodies and stuff like that. You're a conventional fan.
You see why I'm wearing this shirt, right? We was telling the truth today. I wore a no sellout shirt. So if y'all want to know the truth behind it, there are no sellouts if you tell the truth. You can't call nobody a fake fan for telling the truth about what's wrong with the squad right now. Period.
Hey, so look, let me ask this then.
Hey, baby.
I'm gonna be devil's advocate. Let's say, because I don't believe that they're gonna bench Desmond Ridder for next week. But let's say that they do start Taylor Heineke, and he comes out and he only gives you 3 points in the first half. Now what?
Well, at that,
because I think it's a first half issue. I don't think it's a whole game issue.
Well, I mean, at that point, and this is what I've been wanting to see. If Taylor Heineke starts doing the same things that Desmond Ridder is, well, you definitely have a head coach, offensive coordinator problem. And at that point, we know exactly who to point the finger at. But for me, I've been putting these losses on Arthur Smith anyway. So it's like, okay, bro, if Taylor Heineke comes out and you still averaging 16 points a game, that's on you. Because these
There
are
we go.
two completely different quarterbacks. One is we're being marketed as a rookie now. And now you got a veteran guy who can make plays, and you still averaging 16 points, bro. Now you can directly point the finger at Arthur Smith and say, you're the issue. Which it's nothing personal on Desmond Ridder. I like the kid, man. It's nothing personal. But I can tell just by watching him play, I'm like, he ain't ready. He's not ready. He's not. Now Taylor Heineke has much more games under his belt. You can see, I mean, looking at the progression, this man's looking off guys. He's getting to his third read. He's shooting darts. He's taking off when he needs to take off. You know, he made a lot of great plays in one half. I want to see how that transpires over a game. That's why he should be starting next week. So if he starts and we all of a sudden are able to transfer what we do in the second half and the first half, this team going to be dangerous. We're going to be a hard out to any team.
And here's the thing that a lot of people don't realize about Heineke. Everybody knows what he can do. But here's the thing that they talk about that you have to do during the week, the stuff that everybody doesn't see. Heineke was practicing against a top 10 defense every day that he was a starter. He was practicing against that Washington defense. That is a problem. That front seven, I mean, he's not getting hit in practice, but they're giving him looks, and he has to get used to that speed. That defense literally formed and groomed him to be able to be ready to play. That's why when he got his chance to play, if you remember in that playoff game against the Bucs during the COVID year, he went toe-to-toe with Brady because he was prepared. That defense prepared him. You know, unfortunately, they had some bad times, you know, didn't have a good offensive line when he was there. They built that up. They shipped him to Atlanta. What if Heineke is the guy? I'm not saying that he is going to be, but what if he is the guy for the Falcons or whatnot if we ever get this offensive line right and he actually wins enough ball games here in Atlanta?
Hey, all them ifs that you just said, let me pour another drink.
That's like an if was a flip.
Hey, man, look, we living in the land of fantasy right now anyway because we waiting for it to still grow. So let's keep it a buck. We still living in the land of ifs. If a frog had wings, he stopped bumping his ass. That's all I'm saying.
Now I want him to get.
I say this.
Go ahead.
Give him. Oh, I was really gonna be quick, man. I didn't mean to interrupt because you just
go ahead.
in a bad area. Give me Josh McDaniels, and then cut it short.
Wait a minute, as a coach or as a coordinator? Hold up, as a coordinator, as a coach.
As a coordinator.
Or
he's already
another person you might want to look up as a coordinator because he's starting to sever ties with Denver anyway because they got problems with Sean Payton. Go get Gary Kubiak. Yeah, if Coop still want to coach, go look for him. Go try to get
it's Clint. Get Clint. Not Gary old self. Get Clint. His son coach.
I honestly believe this. One of the plays that actually impressed me about Taylor wasn't even the completion. It was a throw. I think he had threw to Hodge, and he stood in the pocket and took a massive shot and threw it down. And they threw a flag for pass interference and then picked it up. And let me say this: the officiating was hot garbage. Hot garbage.
Oh man.
So Simmons was the one who hit him.
Yeah, and when I saw that play, the one thing that I thought was it's gonna open up the run game because teams that scout for Taylor Heineke, they know he will throw this ball. They know it. Desmond is kind of like dinking and dunking, and then every now and then he'll try to throw, he'll try to throw a long ball. We saw like 3 or 4 of those things in the second half. Your boy wasn't afraid to throw that ball. Yeah, and what it does is it takes that box. Now all of a sudden they got to kind of back up a little bit because they know this boy isn't afraid to throw the ball. So again, I'm not saying that Taylor Heineke is the answer or the truth or the guy that's going to get us over the top. For me, I think right now in this moment in this season, he gives us a better opportunity to win. He's regressing. Yeah. He's doing the 3 things you can't do as a quarterback: throwing picks, fumbling the ball, and zero awareness. And we've seen this in 3 straight weeks where it's like, bro, you got to get rid of that ball, man. You have to get rid of that ball. And I know everybody's seeing this, even Dez fans. They're like, man, it's getting hard for me to keep defending you, bro.
Yeah.
Like it's getting hard for me to keep defending you because you should have got rid of that ball. So we'll see what happens next week, man. But again, y'all know I'm a ride with this team no matter who the quarterback is.
The logo.
Just don't have a stroke like you did one year, man. Don't think we forgot about that, man.
Hey,
that was the Dallas game.
Yeah, that was the Dallas game.
Hey, y'all know the game better. I completely forgot about the
game.
I completely forgot about it.
I know that was the Dallas game.
Yeah, but man, I'm at a point now to where I don't really get too up and too down on these games. Even when I feel like I'm about to get up, I just sit myself down and shut the hell up. So you know, and it was hard to do in the second half because in the second half I was seeing so much goodness. You know, I'm like, okay, man, this offense. This is what this offense could be.
They have
yeah. And another thing, and I'll shut the hell up. Another thing, what we saw with Taylor Heineke is he was spreading the ball around. So it wasn't just Kyle Pitts and it wasn't just Drake London. It was Scotty Miller. It was Hodge. It was other guys, you know, that were getting involved in this. This is actually what gets your offenses up because now they're running cleaner routes. Now they're running their routes because they're like, I can get the ball, you know, so again, man, sky's the limit for this offense, but we got to see what our coach is going to do, man, because at this point, this guy is giving me headaches when he talks. so I don't know what the obvious things we should do. He's like, nah. So we'll see, man.
Well, we definitely appreciate you for coming in and wrapping it up for us. We got the show coming up next week. We're going to talk about what's going to happen with Minnesota. Definitely went over today, but it was worth it because everybody, you know, we had a visitor evangelist slide over to the Benediction Lounge, and he wrapped it up for us today. Reverend Negro Damas, that's what I'm gonna call you because that's your nickname. So got the clown with it. But definitely appreciate Marcus for coming through. The magnificent BirdCage crew, you know how we get down, baby. We do this every week. Thank y'all for coming through and definitely dropping some knowledge today. We had some spirited debates between me and Scoop, but you know, that's all family love right there.
Not the love, man. Not the love.
We got something coming for you guys on Thursday. Got some more interviews coming up. We don't have an interview this week, but we're going to be talking about the Vikings coming into Atlanta, where we look to try to take advantage of a wounded team that has a backup quarterback that's coming in. So hopefully we can have him looking like a deer in the headlights. So to the magnificent BirdCage crew, K-Dub, Scoop, last but definitely will never be least, the great one, Great Beard, my guy. So we definitely appreciate you fans for tuning in for us today and staying with us. We ran a little over today, but it was worth it because we definitely had to get that out of our system today, especially after everything we saw. So we'll see you next week. Love you guys. Shout out to you out there and much love, buddy. We'll talk to you guys next week when we preview the Falcons versus the Vikings. We out.
Peace.